Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. This is Pamela, and you are watching Pam Entertainment TV, where we review movies, television series, and incidents in pop culture to see how those incidents may or may not affect our daily lives. Listen, baby, we are here for the season finale of Paradise. And baby, let me just say this. It did not disappoint. This did not disappoint. Do you hear me? This season finale, and I believe this is the season finale, did not disappoint, y'all. Y'all hit that like button and share this video if you can. You know how I do. It's easier for me to go live sometimes than it is. I had recorded my reaction, but baby, I was so all over the place, hollering and screaming at the So let's get into it. So the episode is entitled, as we can see, let me share it with you. Let me share the screen. Uh, episode 8, The Man Who Kept Secrets. Now, this show done took me through so many twists and turns, and I binged it. And I'm happy that I did binge it when I did, because it took me through so many twists and turns. But let me just kind of go over what happened in this episode. So as other episodes have done it, they did like flashbacks. So this was a flashback. So let me just go back over what happened in episode 7. So Sinatra let Xavier know to stand down because she had his daughter, and she needed for him to figure out who killed the president, because whoever it was, their DNA was not in the database, so they didn't know who did it, and she wanted him to find out who was the person that killed the president. And so he sets back off to do that. So he goes back and he gets into his did you all ever see Cross, and how Cross would sit back and think? Well, anyway, he goes back to the crime scene and he starts remembering everything that he saw last and everything like that. And so he ended up remembering him saying that he remembered Cal saying, "What's in this packet is going to kill me." And so he went back to the cigarettes. He saw the numbers. He remembered the numbers. And then he went to the CDs. And then one of the CDs is where Cal had spoken something to his son. And so then he went back to the library. He went into the library and he asked the librarian, he went into the library to look up stuff and everything like that. And then he remembered. Y'all, let me tell y'all something. Let me tell you something. That Dewey Decimal System will save you every time. And if you're not familiar with the Dewey Decimal System, baby, that means that you have not spent any time in a public library. And if you have, go spend some time in a public library, baby. That's a Dewey Decimal System, okay? The numbers on the library books, even at your school, that's the Dewey Decimal System. So y'all go spend some time in that Dewey Decimal System, baby. But anyway, so Xavier is kind of going back over the crime scene. Meanwhile, what's her name? Uh, agent, the one that was sleeping with the president. They always put everybody up here, but the person you need. I need the person that was sleeping with the president. What was her name? I want to say it was Agent Russell, but I'm not sure if that was her name or not. Oh, Lord, what is this woman's name? This is what makes me mad, because Agent Robinson. Anyway, let's continue. So Agent Robinson goes over to the psychiatrist. Now, see, I just don't believe in this psychiatrist. Something's not something's not right with her. Something's really not right. And as I told you in the last review, I think she views the people of paradise as her like lab rats or experiments. I think her coming down to paradise is she's still like trying to do this kind of psychological study or something like that. That's the vibe that she gives me. And she believes because she was a Sinatra's psychiatrist that she has some kind of hold over her. But anyway, Aizen Robinson goes to her and says, look, we're going to have to go through these people because something's not right. Whoever killed the president is someone that does not live or was not here in paradise. So they're doing that information. So now we're getting a flashback scene. So we flash back 12 years to when you remember the guy, the urban planner is what I'm going to call him. I can't remember his name, child. But the urban planner was working on making sure that they fixed that they were going to, the urban planner was there to make sure that they started this experiment of building paradise. And so that means that they had to excavate this big old huge section below the earth of rock and everything and clear it. So what did they do? They hired a lot of labor. So they had a foreman and they hired labor, but it looks like the labor that they hired was a lot of immigrants because a lot of people who were there seemed like they were from West Africa or from Mexico or whatever. So it's top secret. And it looks like I said, I got a lot of the guys there were West African. There was a guy that the foreman of the site he met who was from West Africa, and his name was Adam. And he had befriended all the people that worked with him and everything like that. Well, he started to notice that the workers were getting sick. And so he ended up finding out that they're getting sick by some kind of arson sulfide combination gas. Well, urban planner knows that it's there, but they still have to continue because he's on a schedule. So the foreman is telling him, look, the guys are getting sick and we need to stop this and we need to tell people, that they're getting sick and he needs, they need to do something to hold an account for that. But urban planner wasn't having that. And baby, this is what urban planner does. He decides to void the foreman's contract and not allow him to come back into the facility. And that's inevitably what he did. Now, here's the kicker. This is where this show got good. We realize that the foreman, he has been in contact with all the workers, trying to check and see how healthy they are. All of these little different things, and they're getting sicker and sicker and sicker. And they've got black lung disease, and they're getting sicker and sicker and sicker. Well, of course, Sinatra and her team and all of them don't care. They just want paradise built. And they want paradise built at any cost. So as those workers get sick and they die, they just bring in new workers to get sick and die. So the foreman is like, you know what? This is the president's fault because he realized that this is a project that the government has put forth. And so you remember when Xavier got shot guarding the president? Baby, we found out that was the foreman who was played like he was a cameraman. You remember that? We saw that in like episode 3 or 4. That was the foreman. Because he was going to kill the president because he wanted everybody to know about paradise. Because at that moment, I don't know if the president knew about paradise or not. But anyway, that was the foreman, right? So he ended up going to prison, and he's in prison in Colorado because everything is happening in Colorado. So he was tried and he was convicted for trying to shoot the president in Colorado. Now, we're getting back to seeing what happened. So then we get to the incident, to the end of days. We get to that incident. Now the foreman is in a Colorado prison. So as the end of days is happening, I don't know if one of the guards opened the door and let the prisoners out. I'm not really sure how that happened. But anyway, at his prison, there was a riot. People were trying to get out. He ends up getting out. And he sees that people are trying to get to paradise. And so the actual, he then has on a prison guard outfit, prison guard uniform, and he stops this car. Well, in this car is a librarian and his wife, and they're getting to paradise. He says, well, I'm supposed to go. I got clearance. And he was like, oh, okay. He says, well, all you have to do is get out the car and walk around this mountain or this corner or whatever, and you'll get to the entrance. He ends up killing those 2 people, and they were the librarian. So He takes the identity of these people. You remember Maggie, who was feeding the psychiatrist her food and everything like that, and just having a good old time. She's sitting at the gas station. She's upset because of the end of the world and stuff. So the foreman who tried to kill the president gets hold with Maggie, and they take over the identity of the librarian and his wife, and they get into paradise. So he is the librarian. And so he was going to try to eliminate the president then, but then he just kind of cushy, he got all cushy in his job. Now, let's get to present day. You remember when, I think it was like episode 6, when the president, when we saw what was like the last day of the president, he went to the library. You remember how the librarian kind of jumped and was like, I was thinking he is so overly excited. Well, what it was is he thought that he didn't realize that the president didn't recognize him. The president didn't recognize who he was. He didn't recognize he was the guy that shot at him. And so then it reignited his thing that, hey, I need to finish my job. I need to get rid of him, because that's what I came down to paradise for. That was the reason why I came to paradise, to eliminate the president. But he realized that the president was doing something back there. He didn't know what it was, and he couldn't find out where it was and what he did with the information that he had. But he realized, just, I guess, because, the president was on the computer and pulling some stuff off, but he was still writing information down and stuff like that. He wrote it into a book. And the title of this episode is the title of the book where all the information was. So again, let's get to present day. Sinatra told Xavier, you need to find out who killed the president, and then I'll give you back your daughter. Now, the daughter is with Jane. Baby, we find out real quick, Jane is crazier than a bissy bat. Jane is killing people and keeping people hostage and doing everything she did because that heifer want to play her Wii game. She want to play Wii tennis so bad. And so Sinatra realizes, because basically what Jane tells Sinatra that she's going to take care of Presley. And so Sinatra is thinking that Presley is dead. And so Xavier finds out who killed the president. He finds out that it's the foreman. And he doesn't even recognize the fact that it was the foreman that shot him. And so the foreman gets the book, because he says, I know that there's a way out of here, but I just don't have the right codes or whatever to get out. And he's going to try to get out and tell everybody about paradise. Anyway, so Robinson and Xavier follow old dude up through the rafters and everything of paradise and everything like that to get out. And Xavier and Robinson corner him, and the librarian, aka the foreman, realized that he is stuck, and so he jumps off the top and he falls right down into paradise, honey, excuse me, and he prunes himself from the timeline. Meanwhile, Xavier goes back to Sinatra. Where's my daughter? Where's my daughter? Well, Sinatra, she's got her guards and stuff around and everything like that. And she's like, well, I'm just so sorry. It didn't work out like I thought it was going to work out. I didn't mean for it to happen. But she basically tells Xavier that his daughter is gone. Baby, all them security guards she had, let's just say Xavier took care of them. And so she's sitting there now. She's having to sit with Xavier, and try to explain that Jane has her kids. But then Jane shows up and ends up shooting Sinatra. She doesn't shoot to kill her. She just shoots to wound her. And she tells Xavier that, Presley and the children are okay. They're at the house. He goes to the house. He sees that the kids are okay. And he lets the kids know what happened about the book. Everybody reads the book and realize you could get out. They realize that there are some people that are up at the there are some people that are living. And according to what the notes that the former president left, he estimates it's about 50 something million people, because again, he pressed the EMP. So that knocked out all of the nukes and everything. So they didn't get nuked. It's just the fact that there's not a lot of electricity or all those types of things going on there. So everybody is having to really maneuver and live the way they have to live. So I hope there's a second season, because it ended that Xavier went up top. He found a plane that, one of the little Cessna planes that he could fly, and he is about to he's they show he opened the gates up, and they showed him taxiing that plane out, and he's going to find his wife. Everybody knows that Xavier went out to go find his wife, and that's how it ended. Paradise, Paradise, Paradise. I hope Paradise has a second season, because I would love, because now we're at end days, and they're having to restart society. So it will be interesting to see if there are other types of paradises in other places too. I don't know what they're going to do or how they're going to come back, but this was a great season. I enjoyed the season. I'm glad I waited to be able to binge it like I did. Absolutely great. Sterling K. Brown, excellent, excellent. Julianne Nicholson as Sinatra, baby, that woman is crazy, crazy, but she ain't crazier than Jane. I don't think anybody holds Jane. Jane is crazier than that. Child, a mess. All right, people, that is just my brief review. Spoiler, spoiler. Well, it was a spoiler. I spoiled the whole situation. I spoiled the whole thing. So y'all go ahead and watch it if y'all haven't seen it. What do y'all think? Put it down in the comments. Do you think we're going to get a second season? Do you think it ended? How do you think it ended? I wish it would have ended with him flying a plane, because he probably would be one of the very few planes that are flying. You think it's going to be chaos down there in Paradise, because all those billionaires and all that other stuff, they're down there living their lives? You think people are going to go come down and to get into Paradise? I did fail to mention that Cal's son, the president that was assassinated, his son got his mixtape, and he was talking to his son, and now his son is telling people of Paradise that his father was pruned from the timeline, and all the stuff that's going on, and that, right now somebody from the outside had come in to get him, and he's letting them know that there may be some people who are alive outside. Possibly their loved ones could be alive, because the president, again, he did not do the nukes, he did the EMP. So we will find out hopefully next season. All right, people, we do this every week. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Please share this video if you care. Tell me, what did y'all think about Paradise? Did you like it? I did. I did. I did. I did. I liked it. And I'm glad that I waited to stream it so that I could see it. All right, people. Please tell a friend, tell a kin, tell a coworker, tell that heifer that you can't stand that I'm over here making these videos. And as always, people, bye-bye. Ooh. Paradise. I enjoyed Paradise. Go see it. Watch it. Watch it. It's on Hulu.